Good morning. It looks like we have two people so far who have joined, and we're just going to continue to let people in as they show up. Before we get started, I just want to acknowledge that we're on Treaty 6 territory and the homeland of the Métis. We pay our respects to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of these places. My name is Jessica Rorson, and I'm the Business Development Officer for the IYE and IWE programming through Beaver River Community Futures. If you're not familiar with those programs, they are a new program through NACA. We've recently partnered with NACA to be able to offer micro loan program with a grant attached to Indigenous women and to Indigenous youth. And through this partnership and this collaboration, we are offering a variety of virtual training. And this one is with Josie Lachance, and she is here now for the fourth time. Correct? Josie, is this the fourth time with this series? Yeah. So
It
we've been
is.
running this series for social media, and this is number 4. And if you have not yet seen any of the other videos, I will be sure to send you the YouTube link so that you can watch all of the previous sessions that we have offered. So maybe while you are Josie's presenting, you can just kind of put in your name and maybe where you're from and maybe your biggest hurdle with growing your social media at this point. And we'll just pass it on to Josie. So thanks again.
Thanks so much, Jessica. I'm so excited to be here talking about Facebook and social media, I guess more in depth than just kind of how to post and things like that. So, as Jess said, yeah, please do post your name and your business, where you're from, just so we can kind of have an idea. And at any point in time when we're going through this presentation, just if you have any question, just pop it in the chat and we'll get that answered. We will have lots of time to go through, and this will be like a combination of I have a presentation, then I'm going to flip over to the actual platform of Facebook so we can kind of walk through some things. And so if you have questions there, that's just pop in the chat. All right. Can you see the presentation, Jess, on the screen? I'm going to just do it a little bit differently. There we go.
So that, just
Oh,
a second, I'm
oh,
just going to change. See, it's funny because you are on the main screen beside your presentation and then
okay.
also to
Yeah.
the right. So I'm just wondering.
Okay. I will redo it.
Sure. So we have Nicole here. She's an RMT, massage therapist. Challenges with engagement from followers, algorithms not showing people my posts. Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks, Nicole.
Great. Yeah. Thanks, Nicole. Definitely talk
There,
about
that's
those things. Is
better.
that better? Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Great. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, a quick intro about me. I've been helping small businesses for many years, building and updating websites, managing social media, creating content, and bringing brands to life through logos and marketing materials. So, basically, anything that's kind of in the online world, I've been involved in helping small businesses in that area for quite some time. I would say my specialty is more so with the rural businesses. I am located in a rural community and I also own a business in um, this community that I live in. And so that's kind of where my focus is. And yeah, so I can easily relate to a lot of the things that businesses are struggling with online. And I know that it's overwhelming, but I want to get into this. And like I said, any questions, please just ask, and I'll try to simplify it as much as I can as we're going through. So I know Jess kind of mentioned this already, but I have done 3 other webinars in this 6-part series, and it definitely ties into this session a little bit. We kind of started with just building your brand, and then we just did the basics of social media, and then we talked about kind of designing things and using Canva as a way to design things easy and inexpensive online. And so, yeah, like Jess said, she'll send that over to you. But some of that will tie in to this today. So, um, I just wanted to start off with why does social media matter? Because being active on social media really helps small businesses and rural businesses reach customers that's beyond foot traffic. And if I'm looking over to the left, it's because I have my notes over on my other screen. But I like to think of social media as more of like a digital storefront. So just like how if you have a brick and mortar, it's kind of the same thing. You this is your storefront. So if you're putting a lot of time into like making nice displays in your store and making sure the window displays look nice and having a good environment when people walk into your store, for example, you kind of want to take that and apply it to your social media as well. So it helps business stay connected. It can help you promote, build trust in the community, and reach people outside of your own town. Um, this is an interesting fact, and I don't know if you even think back to how you search for a new business, but lots of people now will actually look up a business on social media before visiting, and maybe even before searching them on Google. Um, so something to think about. Why does it matter? That's where people are going to find their information about businesses that they can visit or support. Um, Kind of a simple example is that a customer searching for a local bakery, they might check hours, menu, photos, recent updates, reviews, all of that right there on your social media. So if your page is active and you are posting and they can see, even in the last week, they can see that you've posted, they're more likely to visit because that they know that you're open. Um, versus if you have a Facebook and you're not active on it and you're not posting, people might wonder if you're open, if you're still in business, you're not updating your hours, those types of things. So um, we spent a lot of time on this in the first social media session. So I just wanted to touch on it here because it is important that your profile is at its best um, when you start, but even now, like going further and wanting to grow your audience and wanting to boost posts and doing things like that, you want your profile to be as updated and clean and crisp as it can be. So, um, basically, making sure you're using a clear business name and keywords. I always suggest a profile photo. Make that your logo or a recognizable storefront. Like if you have a recognizable storefront, maybe that's your logo or your profile photo. Your bio should answer what you do, where you are, and how to contact you, and add these things if you have them. So if you have a website, a phone number, location, and business hours, post those on your profile and make it easy for people. Um, This will lead to better first impressions, which will lead to more followers, and there's a higher chance that people will click your links if your profile is updated and if they're clear what they are. Um, you can, with links especially, just to note, you can kind of break it down. So if you're a massage therapist, you can say you can have a link to your website, but then you can also have a link to if you use the Jane app or any other sort of booking app, you can have both links there. So you can have visit website or book your appointment, and it just makes it so easy for people to just go into your profile, book their appointment, and not have to think about it later. Makes it really easy for everyone. So this is just kind of an example of what I mean here. So here's a business where you take their Facebook profile and their Instagram profile, and they're basically matched. So you're not wondering if this is the same company. You know it's the same company. The logo is the same. The name's the same. The bio is the same. All of those things. Um, the other thing I like, especially with Facebook and Instagram, you can do the call now or the contact button. So people can click on that and call you instantly. And with Instagram, you can hit the contact button and it's whatever sort of contact that you want can pop up. So for this one, I think it was email and excuse me, email and phone number. So you hit the contact button, it drops down your options, and I want to send them an email. Done. Brings me to my email app on my phone. I can send them an email. Super easy. Um, yeah, so this is all available to you when you start your account. So you might have already done this, but I do encourage you to maybe just go back and look and just say, hey, is my profile updated? Is all the information there? Does this make sense to people coming here? So getting into this a little bit before we begin, you may be questioning or not whether your business needs social media. And here's why having a social media can be important and a powerful tool for growing your business. So if someone visits your page for 5 seconds, they should instantly know what you sell and where you are located. And so that's a huge reason why you want to have that bio updated. So moving over to the content pillars, just wanted to touch on this a little bit because it's very easy to just run out of ideas and stop posting because you've simply just run out of ideas. You don't have anything left in the tank. So sometimes if you define your content by some pillars, it kind of helps you to stay more consistent and um, just what's the word I'm looking for here? You're not only staying consistent, but it's making it easy for you to post. You're not always guessing because you have these pillars that your content fits under. So, for examples here, if we're looking at all of the content pillars, we have product and services, behind the scenes, helpful tips, and community. So these are just 4 pillars that I kind of came up with. You could come up with your own pillars if you have specific things that you want to kind of touch on. So if you have like a specific idea. But this kind of like an example would be like a farm store could post on one day, they could post new produce arrivals. And then a couple days later, they could post new produce arrivals. And then maybe a couple days later, they're posting some photos from a harvest. Or maybe they're posting a recipe idea with things that you can get at the farm or one thing that's in season. And then for the community highlight, maybe they're posting about a farmer's market they're attending or events in their area and saying, hey, this event is happening down the street. Here's our hours that day. We've extended them or whatever it is. If you kind of think of your content in these types of pillars, it does really help you. So I kind of just gave a little bit of points there for each pillar. And depends on the business that you have. Another example, like if you have a mechanic shop, well, you can definitely talk about your winter tire sales if you're having something like that. You could post cool photos of vehicles and have um, like polls or things for people to engage on with. So you could do a this or that. Which one do you prefer? And then have people select or like comment. So it's really engaging. Or things, unique things that people don't usually see, but are so second nature to you. Like people don't usually see underneath of their car. So when you have a car up on the hoist, maybe you can take a picture of the bottom, or someone who really needed to change their oil filter like years ago, and you're showing, like a old um, oil oil filter, you can maybe provide tips on how to like take better care of your vehicle and prevent these things from happening, et cetera, et cetera. So you can kind of build on that however you want, but I find this helps to keep consistent. And that's something I will probably over say this entire webinar, but consistency is a huge key for having a good social media that is working for you and your business. So, um, here's like a little cheat code. If a post has one of these things, if it helps, it entertains, it reassures, it starts a conversation, it builds trust, you're going to benefit from that. So, um, just a little kind of thing to keep in the back of your mind. As we move over here into the content planner and scheduler, so I am going to pop into the Meta Business Suite once we kind of go through all of this, and then it will make a little bit more sense. I'm not sure if you are using that right now, but this is one of the things that I love about Meta and with Facebook. You can use their content planner and scheduler. So it's basically a built-in planner. You can pick a date and time and your post, upload your post information and hit schedule, and then it's going to go out at that time on that day. So not only can you plan posts ahead of time, but you can also post to Facebook and Instagram at once. If you have both those platforms, you can link them together and then post on both platforms. This also makes it easy for you to sort of manage comments and messages, and scheduling posts saves so much time, and it really does help you to be consistent. And I suggest you could use like a week overview example here, like I have something that doesn't change. Um, and then you don't have to worry about what should I post today. So if you're kind of looking at your week and then you say Monday, I'm going to post product. I'm always going to post about products on Monday. And on Wednesday, I'm going to post behind the scenes. And on Friday, I'm going to do, if we have a promotion going on, or maybe if there's something in the community going on, I'm going to do that on Fridays. Because usually Fridays is a good time because usually things are happening in your area on the weekend. So um, you can also adopt my 20-minute weekly social media routine. So this is super helpful. Just to kind of, again, keep with the consistency and not let this be so overwhelming. And also to make you feel like you don't have to spend so much time on Facebook. So, yeah, the thing of being a small business owner is that we tend to gear away from social media because it can be very all consuming. And so, say you go on to your social media, your Facebook, you log into your business Facebook, and suddenly, you start off doing the work that you were planning to do. And then all of a sudden, you're seeing a post from a high school friend that you haven't talked to since, like, well, high school. And then you're kind of off track. So, a pro tip, you go in if you want to be consistent and you want to like take advantage of this, is to go on, set a 20-minute timer, and then this will help you to just deal with the distractions and stay focused. You're going on for 20 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna go on, I'm gonna review my insights from last week, see how my posts performed, which ones did good. I'm gonna schedule my posts for this week. Um, and maybe I'm even going to engage a little bit with if there's any sort of new comments or messages. Wednesday, I'm going to check back because I've most likely already scheduled 2 posts. Say if you're aiming to do the 3 posts a week, kind of, if that's kind of your goal. You check back in late on Wednesday. You respond to messages and comments that have been made on your posts. And then Friday, maybe is a day you post just specifically to your story. So keeping it really simple, not trying to overdo it every day, not going on for hours, just, hey, Monday, I'm going to log in for my 20 minutes, maybe while I drink my coffee or have my lunch, something like that, and just kind of get these posts done. Um, I find that this is a good way to help make it feel manageable. Um, yes. And so even when I'm saying like respond to comments and messages, it doesn't mean you have to comment back to every comment. You could even just like that person's comment. That's just going to build on your post. But if you do comment, say someone comments on your post about a product that you posted and they said, "Oh, I love this product. I've been using it for years." And then you go back and comment on that post. That's just only going to boost your content up in the algorithm. It's just only going to get more people to see it. And I have some good examples of that here coming up. So it can be very easy to stop. Sorry, a second here. Um, social media really does work best when businesses interact with their audience. It can be really easy to just stop at posting. So you could just post and then never go back and interact with anybody or anything on Facebook. And I'm telling you, that's not going to benefit you. It's not going to help you grow your page. It's not going to help your page. Your socials. Like it's not going to help you grow in the way that you want it to and to be able to use it in the way that you need it. So yes, you can do that, but if you want more from your social media, getting on there and engaging with people is the best way to do that. So like we already talked about, replying to comments on your post, or posts that you're tagged in, and even sharing when you're tagged in a post. So say someone says, "Oh, hey, I um, just left Nicole's, had a great massage." Um, Reshare that to your page. It's content that someone else is creating for you. All you're doing is hitting the share button, and then that's working for you. That's going to um, your social media stories, and people are seeing life there. They're seeing people going there and utilizing your service, and you might get a few sort of clicks from that post, just people kind of checking out your page because someone new is posting about a business that they haven't heard about. So yeah, that's definitely, like I said, it works best when you interact with your audience, and it definitely increases your visibility, and you are also promoted more. Your page will get seen by more people if you are more interactive. Um, the other interactive component um, is on Facebook. I mean, on both Facebook and Instagram, it works the same. But going on and liking other businesses in your area and um oh my goodness, what's the word? And interacting with them. So me going on my business Facebook and I'm seeing, another local store is posting about their coffee, and I'm going to go in and get a coffee today, and so I'm going to comment that, or I'm going to like their post, or um I see an event that's happening, maybe I'm going to comment and say that we're going to be there. Just because then people are seeing your business name pop up more and more and more throughout all of these community posts. And so that's going to grow your following. Not only your following, it's just going to get people to interact with you more. So just spending some time to like go in, and it doesn't have to be every day, it doesn't even have to be every week, but um, just going on and commenting a few things, liking a few posts, um, will help kind of boost you up there. So this is a big part of today, and learning about the insights and how we can use those to our advantage. So these are really important to understand these terms, and I'll get into it a bit more here as we keep going. But when we're talking about reach versus engagement, so if a post reaches 1,000 people, 990 people might just look at it. 10 people might actually interact with it, and maybe 2 to 5 people will visit the store later. So when we're looking at that a post as a whole, and you see, 1,000 people, it reached 1,000 people, it is a really good thing. It doesn't mean that 1,000 people are going to like your page or come into your store or buy your product, but that's 1,000 people that it has reached. And if you're continuing to post consistently, you're going to only keep reaching more and more people. So it's going to be more and more consistent. It's going to grow. So I always try to think about what posts get the most interaction when I'm going back and looking at my posts that I've posted maybe last week. If we're doing it weekly, I'm going back and I'm seeing, okay, which posts get the most interaction? What type of content performed the best? And when are my followers most active? And then basically, I'm just going to repeat that and repeat what works. Um, So just because your photo has 5 likes doesn't mean only 5 people saw your post. That's what I'm kind of trying to say here is if we going back to that stat of 1,000 people or saw your post, um, it doesn't mean that they're all going to like it. And so low likes doesn't necessarily mean that your post has failed. I just want to reiterate that because at some point, kind of, we started judging how well things are performing off how many likes or how many comments there are. And while there is definitely a component there, but if you actually think about how you yourself personally, how you use social media, do you actively click the like button or comment on every single post that you see? No, you probably don't. The chances are that you don't actually like them. And sometimes you'll go back. I find this myself personally on Instagram. I'll go back and I'll see a post that I already seen before and like, oh, that's weird. I thought I liked this post, but I definitely just seen it and I didn't like it. Like heart it. So the point is that people are still seeing the content though. So it doesn't matter about the likes and the comments, people are seeing the content that you're putting out there, and that's what matters. Many will still remember the business or they'll remember that post, they'll visit later, or they'll tell a friend about it. The typical engagement rates, if you want to break it down into some statistics, Instagram has around like a 0.45% to 0.6% average engagement per post across the platform. So that's like not um, super high. I feel like it could be higher, and Facebook is even lower. And that's just because things have sort of shifted to this like passive consumption. So people are viewing it and the views are increasing it because people are on social media more, but they're not interacting with the post as much as maybe they were 10 years ago when when they were using it then. So again, just want to reiterate to like not let a low like post discourage you or make you throw the towel in. And you could compare it to sort of not every customer who walks past your store comes inside. And social media works the same way. So accounts with under 1,000 people, like 1,000 followers, can see engagement rates of 5 to I think it's like 8%. It's actually much higher than large accounts. So if that makes sense, um, I feel like I kind of phrased that funny, but um, like bigger businesses, they might have a bigger following, but it doesn't mean that their engagement rates are higher. People want to connect with the small businesses and the people in their community, and so the engagement often tends to be higher. Um, okay, so here's an example that I have here for you. So if you look at this post here, this was our local grocery store, and it was it's a very simple example for us to analyze. But a post like this really takes no time, and it's like there's so much that we can kind of break it down into like the pieces to see what worked and what didn't work. But you'll see here it's just basically a photo of the inside of the store. They had like a little bit of a refresh, and it's not like a long thought out caption. It's not saying to come buy anything. It's not. Doesn't have a link in there. It's just asking people um, to interact. It's saying, hey, we did a little facelift. What do you think? Have you noticed? It's that call to action to getting people to want to comment or like. And so, again, the caption isn't extensive, um, but it is seeking engagement. And so this was posted, and the owner checked back in a couple hours later, and actually started responding to the comments, um, just like clicking like um, just like liking the comments, even not responding to all of them. So very simple, like again, very simple stuff. But this actually reached 214. Well, sorry, didn't reach 214 people liked this post. 29 comments and 3 shares. And this is on a page that has just over 2,000 followers. So that engagement rate for that amount of followers is actually very good. And so let's check out how the insights worked on this post. So we're going over to the insights, and you can see here we had 214 likes, but this post actually saw 10,000 views. And this wasn't a post that was boosted. This wasn't a post that was paid for. It was just something that was very simple, of a place that everybody kind of knows and loves and visits. Um, and again, it was very simple. And then you can kind of get into this here. So you have um, how many follow? Okay, yeah. So this is like where it can be very helpful for small businesses. So you can see here, okay, followers versus non-followers. Well, we had 38,000 or 3,800, sorry, followers. But actually, a lot of the people who saw this post were people who didn't already follow us. So they saw it because someone else liked it that they knew, or maybe someone shared it. That's how they're seeing it. Um, but what most likely happened in this case is I liked the post, and then all my friends were seeing that I liked this post, and that's how they were seeing it. They weren't necessarily interacting with it by liking it or commenting on it, but they were still seeing it. And so um, just things to think about, and that's like that's a pretty big number of views. And that was basically from, yeah, just over a couple of days. So this can help you to, if you look here, the who viewed your content, you have women and men and unknown. And so then it's showing us right here, 35 to 44 um, age demographic, mostly women. And same with the 65 plus, mostly women. So that's who's following our page, that's who's interacting with us, and that can help um, in many ways in our business on other sides of things that aren't just marketing related. But you can kind of see that, okay, hey, we can actually probably gear towards marketing towards women because those are the people who are interacting. Um, yeah. So something I always suggest on a post that performs well and gets lots of likes is to just go back to the original post. And then what you can do, because you can see here, that post gained us 3 followers, which is actually pretty good. But if you go back to that original post and then you click the likes, like back, I'll just go back here. Like if I were to click right here, it would show me everybody who liked that post and if they're following my page or not. And then I can just go and I just click um, invite, invite to page, invite to page, invite to page on all the people who um, don't currently like the page. And this is just such a very organic way to grow your following um, and I guess your audience. And that kind of leads us into the next part here. So almost going to flip over into Facebook. So if you have any questions, just feel free to throw them in the chat and we can kind of do that in the transition. But growing your audience is a super important piece of your social media. You can go through all the work to start your social media and create the posts and be doing all the right things. But if you don't have people following you and you haven't put in any effort to grow your audience, it's not gonna be working for you in the way that you want it to be. So here's just some ideas on how to grow your audience. Again, inviting customers to follow your page, adding social links basically everywhere that you can. So, especially if people get e-receipts from your business, if you have the little follow us on Facebook that they can just click and then it brings them to your Facebook page and they can hit like. Um, Even store signage, I find, is a really effective way. If you just have a little sign by your till or on your um, POS to say, follow us on social media, lots of people will do it that way as well. Um, and then you can grow it in other ways, like we talked about, um, liking and commenting on other businesses or other customers or other people's pages. You can, there was another one. Oh, if you're in a smaller community, or I guess even in a city, really, you can join community pages on Facebook so that you can kind of promote if you have like a sale or if you have an event coming up or an opening for an appointment, you can kind of use those pages. People will see you on those community pages and then click your profile and then like you or your page that way. So yeah, basically, oops, I went way too far. Sorry. Um, so quickly want to touch on this before we pop over into Facebook. Um, a lot of things can be done through the ads and ad manager. Um, Paid ads do help businesses reach people who are not already following them, so it is something to consider. And ads can help you because you can target specific age, specific gender, a specific location, specific interests. You can really target them for a small amount of money. And it's really good if you want to promote events or sales or increase awareness. So I'm just going to do this here. Um, Jess, I just want to check in and see if you can see that I'm on Facebook now.
Sure can.
Okay, great. So the one that I'm using today is just a nonprofit um, Facebook page, one that I'm a part of, and it's we're just going to use it to kind of walk through um, the things that we talked about. So this is kind of what you see when you log into your business social media or your business Facebook. You'll see you can go to your homepage here on the left, and then you have Ads Manager, Ad Center, and Meta Business Suite. Mostly everything is going to be done in the business suite, so we'll just pop into there. Um, and then you can kind of see everything that's going on in here. So I'm not going to go into too many details about just how this part works because I really want to dive into like the insights and the ads. And so if we go into the insights here, I wanted to use this as an example because um, this is a good example of what you see as an overview. So this is kind of how your page performed as a whole. And so we're looking at here, it'll tell you that this is for the last month. You can customize it. You can change the dates if you want to get more specific. But if we're looking at the month, and the reason why I wanted to use this one as an example is because you'll see a lot of red down arrows instead of green up arrows. Lots of people think that when you go on and you see those red arrows, like, oh, I haven't, my views are down or my followers are down, my interactions are down. You're seeing all of these things. The reason why this is happening is just because this platform, this page just hasn't been consistent. And so there might be times where we can post consistently for a couple months and then maybe we just don't really have anything this month. So we didn't really post that much this month. So of course your views are going to go down. It doesn't mean people are not following you. It doesn't mean that people aren't seeing those posts that you are posting. Um, It's just that your views are down because you're not posting 3 times a week like you were in all of the previous months before this. So it doesn't always necessarily mean a bad thing, but that is the kind of it's a key part of why being consistent is only going to benefit you because you do want to keep growing. You want your views to stay up. You want your interactions to be up. But if you do have a couple weeks or a month or where you do have um, lower posts, like you don't have things to post about, maybe you have someone who helps you with your social media who's become unavailable. Um, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Your page is still getting seen. People are still interacting with it. It's just not the same. Um, so here, if we go on the side, there's a whole bunch of different things you can kind of get into. And this will show you here, like um, when we're talking about views, low views, because we weren't really posting anything. But here on this day, well, we posted something and we had 463 people view our page. So for a page that only has a couple hundred followers, that's great. If you want to dive into who those viewers were, you should be able to click. Oh, I see. Yeah. So you can see the views. Um, yeah, this just shows you your highest date. If you ever have any sort of confusion, because there's a lot of terms that I feel like they use that are the same. So you can click these little information bubbles and it'll kind of break it down more for you. So you can see here this many people we have here clicked our Facebook link 12 times. So that could have been it was posted somewhere, whether that was it went out on our invoices or it was in a newsletter that we put out. So if that was one of our goals that day with that post, then you can see, oh hey, 12 people liked it, and so we can kind of confirm if that was what our goal was and if it worked. So again, you can kind of go like this through here. You have your audience, which will show you again what we looked at in the other example where we were seeing demographic um, of women versus men. That was just for that post specifically. If you want to know for your page overall, this is where you can kind of come to see who is visiting your page. Are they men? Are they women? And what age are they? So you can see here, we're not really appealing to that under 24 demographic. We're mostly here, it looks like mostly from 35 to kind of that 50, 60 age demographic mark. Um, then you can kind of get into it a little bit further. You can see all the people, where they're from, and how, um, where they're from. And you can use that to whatever advantage you want to. If you have been trying to get into a different market that you see on here, well, maybe you can kind of push a little bit more because you do see some people. Maybe you're surprised to see people from certain areas. So you kind of ramp up marketing in that area. Um, keep going. So again, you can kind of just play around in the insights tab, but there's lots of information that you can get through this. And you can see all of this for this month because we didn't do any paid ads. This is all just from organic followers or from our organic content. Let's go to the actual content tab, or sorry, down here, content by views. So it's not going to show you everything like the photos, but I can see all the posts that I did here. And this is just like an easy way to view it all in one area, but you can kind of decipher them post by post in other ways if you want. And I can show you that a little bit. But you can see here, this post, we had 325 people view it, 12 people liked it, and 2 people commented on it. And so you can kind of do that post by post just to see what what people are interested in, what's performing well. Um, yeah, so I'm going to go to just going to go over here into ads. And so this is where you can see the ads that you've completed. And I just kind of want to show you this before I show you how to boost an ad. Um, but here's an ad that we did in, it was November. Yep, November 16th. You can kind of see a brief summary right there, but let's say we want to view the results a little bit more in depth to see if our money paid off and how that worked for us. So you can see here, 103 people clicked the link to go to our page. So we had an event coming up and we were selling tickets. And so we wanted to kind of boost that event post and we added our website in there. So 103 people who saw the post, they clicked and went to the website. So we had almost 5,000 people view that post. And I think it's important, like that's a pretty high number. Links don't usually perform very well in um, posts. And so I think that's really great. Okay, we had 103 people go to that link that we set up and see if they wanted to come. So again, you can kind of dive into your audience and see um, where people saw it, where they're from, who they were. Um, and the details about this ad was that we spent $8 a day for 3 days. So not very much money if you think about it, considering we had 5,000 people see it. Um, so just kind of an example of how a small amount of money can go a long way, depending on what it is that you're promoting. And if you wanted to run this again, say we ran it for 3 days and we want it was performing well, we're getting ticket sales, let's run it again. We can definitely do that just from a click of a button. We don't have to go and redo a whole new ad. So I'm going to go into on the left-hand side here. We're going to go to our content and I'm just going to kind of pull one here. Let's say we want to boost this post here. So boosting a post means that it's a post that you've already created and you've already shared it to your page. I find that this is the most effective way to promote your business for a very small amount of money. You can go and create a whole new ad campaign for sure. That allows you to be more specific and kind of pick specific images maybe and put a little bit more specific, like it just allows you to be more specific. But it's definitely not necessary and it will take a little bit more time and it will cost you a little bit more money to do a full-on ad. But if you create a post, and lots of times what people will do is they're running a promotion. And so they're going to go and they're going to create the exact post that they want with all the information that they have, post it, and then they're going to boost it. And so it kind of doubles over as that ad. But we're going to do this. We're going to just, it's, pop that in there. You can change what you want. So here we've got learn more. Say we want to post this event that's coming up. We want to learn more. You can change it. So it doesn't have to be a learn more button. It can be a book now, a shop now, sign up, call now, or no button. But say we want people to learn more about this event. We want that to bring them to the website. We're going to post our website in and then we're going to kind of just change up a couple of things. So I want to choose maybe people in our area. And so this is one of those things where you can kind of move around. We can say, oh, we want a let's say 50-mile radius from where we are. And it shows you here what age demographic that this audience, like the details of this audience, and the size that we might hit, um, size of views or size of views you might hit. And then we can pick when we want to run this, for what days, and how much we want to spend. So you'll see here as I slide this, the estimated impressions per day will change. So say we have a pretty minimal budget for this. We just want to give it a little boost. We just want to spend $10 a day. Well, that's going to reach about 14,000 people potentially. And it says here, similar businesses typically spend 18 and are able to get about 73 link clicks per day. So that sounds pretty good to me. Maybe we would do 18. It is almost not quite doubling our impressions per day. So maybe we're going to do that. That sounds good to us. You can kind of, again, these are things you can kind of play around with. If you want it, if this was an event or a promotion that was like a bit more targeted to your local area, the event that I'm advertising here is for anybody to attend, but say you have your storefront and you're running a promotion, you know that probably only people within maybe a 20-minute drive are probably going to come to just check out your store. So maybe you want to just focus more heavily on that area and pushing it in that way. So yeah, right here you can see it summarizes everything for you. So I just said I was going to run it for a day. I'm going to spend $18. It's estimated to be viewed by about 30,000 people. And then I can just go ahead and publish it. And then that will just do the work for me. It'll advertise my event and hopefully bring in a couple more signups. So boosting a post is definitely, in my opinion, I think it's the most effective. And it's efficient because you're only spending a little bit of money and a little bit of your time. An example would be if you're hosting an event or doing a promotion online, maybe if you did this is only going to take you a couple minutes. But alternatively, if you were to print a whole bunch of posters, you're probably spending more money, spending more time getting that poster perfected. And then you have to pick up the posters and then you have to go and distribute them and hang them up around in your area, which is still a great way to get information out, but this is a really good alternative. Then I'm just going to show you here what you can do. Another way you can see here, it's giving us the options to boost and stuff. But if we were to go over into the planner, so this is where you can see all of the content if you want to schedule. So when we talked about scheduling, we can do it that way. But if we're talking about boosting another post, you know what, actually, I'm going to go this way. Maybe I won't do that. Yes, I will. I'm just going to quickly flip over back to our main Facebook page and go back to our home page. So this is kind of the most common way to boost a post is you can just kind of scroll through your feed and you remember that you posted something and you want to go and create an ad. You can do create an ad. Here, boost a post. So there are a couple differences. Sometimes you can't always boost, like you can't boost something that you've shared because it's not your original content. So that's kind of another way to kind of go about it, is just clicking boost post this way, and it brings you right into that back end of that Meta Suites. Oops. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna. There we go. So again, you can kind of go through it the same way. So there's a couple different ways to do that, that gets you to the same spot. So whatever way is the best for you, we can leave that and not use that. So popping back into sorry, it's not looking for anything now. There we go. Popping back into the business suite. So this is just kind of where you're gonna everything is going to be published where you can see everything. So my big things, my big takeaways from this, because I know we're kind of running out of time, is that using the planner will help you be more consistent, and being more consistent will help you kind of organically grow your audience. If you also are commenting and liking and engaging with people on the posts or the content that you're putting out, that's also going to organically grow your followers, or your page. And it's also going to make people want to interact more. If they know, like, what's the point of you putting out a post saying, hey, what's your favorite pie? And then people comment their favorite pie, and then no one follows up with that. It kind of makes you feel like, well, should I have commented? Maybe I don't need to comment. They just put that out there just for content, but like didn't actually care about what my answer was. So that's something you can think about too when you are putting those call to actions in your posts, is making sure that you are interacting. Um, and then coming back at the beginning of the week and reviewing those posts from last week through the insights, and just seeing how they performed, what performed well, because sometimes it can matter too about the time of day, which I'll show you actually if we go into the planner and you go to month, you'll see here it's showing us 6 p.m. is the best time for our page to post, because that's when people are the most active. It doesn't mean you have to post it at 6 p.m. To get the most views. That's just what Facebook is suggesting. And if your business is no longer open at 6 p.m., it might not be a great tactic to use. So you can post it earlier, people will see it, and then hopefully at 6 p.m., more people will still continue to see it. But yeah, I know we're just right at the end, and I could talk about so many other things. Are there any questions that anybody wants, or anything that they want me to show them while we're here?
No new comments, but I mean, for
Okay.
Nicole, like her first question there about having engagement from followers, again, like you said, making sure to like acknowledge any kind of engagement from her
Mhm.
clients. And like you said, reviewing and seeing what people are liking and what time is best to be posting and what pictures and posts people are
Mhm.
liking, like you said, to kind of like create that. It's like an outfit. Oh, you had lots of comments and it worked really well. Okay, great. We'll keep repeating that and
Yeah,
you'll
and I think we often forget that if we schedule our post and we never go back to interact with that,
Mhm.
um, it's not working for us in the best way. And an example that I did have about that is if you don't, if you're not consistent and you don't maintain your page, um, say you go to like run a promotion, or you're having a big like anniversary sale, and you're putting it out on social media and hoping it's just going to like do its thing. Well, if you have only posted like once a month for the last year, um, you're probably not going to get the interaction that you think you're going to get. it's just like I see it all the time where people don't use their Facebook and then all of a sudden they use their Facebook to go and say that they're hiring staff. Well, who are you posting that to? Because you only have 50 followers and no engagement. You haven't been present on your social media. So who are you trying to reach with those posts? So it's one of those things. It's like the maintaining your store physically. I like using that example because we all do it. We sweep the floors and we make the shelves look nice and we take time to like and care in that area. This is kind of the same thing.
Hmm. Well, thanks, Josie. That was super. Um, Thank you, everybody, for joining. And like I said, I will be sending an email out with a link to the YouTube channel for viewing all the other videos that we have on there. So thank you and
Thanks so
have
much.
a great day.